So, in 2026, the K-pop group EXO is making a comeback. But listen, this is so much more than just a new album. It's a cultural reunion that's been 14 years in the making. It's really a story about a band and the entire generation that grew up right there with them.
Think about that. 14 years of a legacy, a full 7-year wait just to have all the members back together again. I mean, the anticipation is just off the charts, and it's all fueled by this incredible nostalgia and a loyalty that's been seriously tested by time. So, what is it? Why does this comeback mean so much to millions of fans?
All right, so to really get it, we're going to walk through the whole journey. We'll kick things off with their shared history, then rewind back to their explosive debut in 2012. We'll get into that long, challenging wait, and finally land on their 2026 return and explore what it all says about the incredible power of fandom.
Okay, so let's dive right into the heart of this whole thing. The fans. You got to remember, back in 2012, a lot of these fans were just high school kids. Now, they're professionals. They're navigating careers, adult life, the whole shebang. So this comeback, it's not just about the music. It's a shared milestone. It's like a reunion for an artist and an audience that have literally grown up side by side.
All right, let's jump in the time machine. We're going all the way back to April 8th, 2012. The K-pop world was a completely different place back then. And into this world drops a new group, EXO, with this wild, unprecedented concept, superpowers. Yeah, they weren't just singers, they were basically characters in a whole new mythology. And this image? Wow. It just perfectly nails what the fan experience was like back then. Just picture it. You're in a school hallway, sharing one single pair of those old-school wired earphones, listening to their debut song Mama on an MP3 player, right? Fandom was this secret club, a community you built right there inside the walls of your school.
So that was the blueprint, right? Their debut with Mama was, it was huge, operatic, bold, nothing like it. And that whole superpower concept, absolutely revolutionary. Fandom turned into this social glue for teenagers. And as EXO got bigger and bigger, their fans felt like they were right there on that journey with them. It just created this incredibly deep personal connection. But of course, that deep connection, it was about to be put to the ultimate test. The years that followed were just packed with challenges that, honestly, could have easily destroyed other groups and their fan bases. So a huge part of this long wait is this Korean term Gunbaekgi. Basically, because of mandatory military service in South Korea, a group like EXO has to send its members off one by one. And for them, this created this huge, long gap in full group activities that stretched all the way from 2019 to 2025. It was, no joke, the ultimate test of endurance for everyone. And this timeline, it really shows you the scale of what they were up against. Look, even before we get to the military hiatus, the group had already been through some major member departures. And you have to understand, for a group whose entire identity was built on that slogan, "We are one," these departures were a massive shock to the system. And then, the long military hiatus hits. For the fans, it must have felt like being in this endless tunnel with absolutely no guarantee of a light at the end. But something really interesting happened through all these trials. That slogan, "We are one," it stopped being just a cool marketing catchphrase and became a real promise. These shared hardships, they bonded the fans together into what some people have called a destiny community. They weren't just united by the music they loved, but by everything they had survived together. And all of that, it brings us right here to January 19th, 2026. After all those years of waiting, the comeback album, REVERXE, it finally drops. And look, this is not just another collection of songs. This is the coronation at the end of a long, tough journey. But the world they came back to? It's a whole different ballgame. Back in 2012, we're talking MP3s, one-way communication on an official website. Fandom was a teen subculture. Now, you fast forward to 2026, and it's this massive, global digital ecosystem. It's all about streaming, direct fan interaction through apps, and fandom has become this huge cultural force. Okay, let's circle back to this amazing image, but this time, let's look at the right side. That MP3 player, it's been replaced by a smartphone, streaming music on the morning commute to a corporate job. And the school blazer, that's now a professional suit. Fandom is no longer just a hobby. It's a legitimate global economic and cultural force. And, we can sit here and analyze all the data and charts, but sometimes a single fan comment just says it all. This post from Reddit is just, it's raw, it's funny,
And it is so deeply relatable. It perfectly captures that sheer, unmovable anticipation that was in the air at this moment.
So what about the actual music? Let's talk about the album. This album, REVERXE, is a full-on statement. It's got 9 new tracks that pretty much tell the story of their whole journey. I mean, you can almost read their history just in the song titles. You've got the defiance of Back It Up, the struggle you can feel in tracks like Suffocate and Flatline, and then finally that sense of arrival in the last song, I'm Home. And it all leads up to that powerhouse title track, Crown. Crown is musically such a bold statement. It's this hard dance track that just mashes different genres together. You've got the rhythm of Atlanta trap, the raw aggression of heavy metal guitar, and the pulse of EDM. It's pure confidence in a song. It's the sound of the king's return.
But the real punch, it's in the lyrics. The song plays with this metaphor of a crown, this thing that everyone wants. But then it flips it and turns it into a direct message for the fans. It's basically saying, after everything, after all this time, you are the only true crown worth protecting. It's a thank you, it's a promise, and it's a declaration of loyalty, all wrapped up in one.
So all of this brings us to our final and maybe our deepest point. What does this whole 14-year saga really tell us? Well, it reveals how the role of fandom in our lives actually evolves, from just being a simple hobby into something way, way more profound. See, the journey of a fan often follows these 3 steps. First, when you're a teenager, it's about escapism, right? A refuge from all the stress of school and homework. Then, maybe in your 20s, it becomes about belonging, finding your people, your community. But then, as a full-blown adult, it can become a form of self-healing, a way to validate your own life. And that's really why this comeback hits so hard for so many. For a fan who's now an adult, facing real-world bills and responsibilities, seeing EXO still up there, still shining on stage, that provides this incredible validation. It's like a message that says, hey, all that time, all that passion, the youth you spent on this, it wasn't silly, it was worthwhile. It actually gives them the courage to keep pushing forward in their own lives. And that really just leaves us with one final thought. EXO's story, at the end of the day, is a mirror. It's asking us to look back at the artists that defined our youth, the ones who were our personal crowns. So the question really isn't just about EXO, it's for you. Where is your crown shining now?